Welcome to 112 Ocean Avenue, where dreams died and nightmares still whisper through the walls. On this dark Fogart street in Amityville, New York, a house stands silent under the cold blue moonlight. But it is not empty. It remembers. It waits. This is a story based on the terrifying events that unfolded within these walls. A tale that has chilled the world for decades. The Amityville Curse. We begin in December 1975. George and Kathy Lutz, along with Kathy's 3 children, found what they believed to be their dream home. A beautiful, large Dutch colonial house with a boathouse and a pool, all for an unbelievably low price. But the price was low for a reason. Just 13 months earlier, this was the scene of a horrific mass murder. Ronald DeFeo Jr. had taken a high-powered rifle and, in the dead of night, systematically executed his entire family, his parents, and his 4 younger siblings, as they slept in their beds. He claimed voices in the house told him to do it. The Lutzes knew the history but believed they could build a new, happy life there. They had the house blessed by a priest before moving in. That blessing was the first sign that something was terribly wrong. As the priest sprinkled holy water, he heard a deep, masculine voice command, "Get out." He felt an unseen hand slap him and left, shaken, warning the Lutzes to never use the upstairs sewing room, the site of one of the murders. The family moved in on December 18th, and the nightmare began almost immediately. The house seemed to retain a malevolent energy, a coldness that no amount of heating could dispel. Doors would open and close on their own. Strange odors, a mix of cheap perfume and foul decay, would appear and vanish without explanation. A mysterious green slime would ooze from the walls and keyholes. George Lutz, a formerly laid-back and cheerful man, began to change. He became withdrawn, angry, and obsessed with the fireplace, spending hours staring into the flames. He would wake up every single morning at 3:15 a.m., the exact time of the DeFeo murders, feeling an inexplicable chill run through his body. He couldn't sleep. His health deteriorated, and he was constantly cold. For Kathy Lutz, the terror was just as palpable. She began having vivid nightmares about the murders. She would see the events unfold as if she were there. On several occasions, she felt herself being touched and embraced by an unseen entity. One night, she levitated a few inches off her bed as George watched in horror. Her face began to transform, momentarily taking on the appearance of an old, haggard woman. The children were not spared either. The youngest, Missy, developed an imaginary friend named Jody. At first, it seemed like a normal childhood fantasy, but Jody was no ordinary friend. Missy described her as a pig-like creature with glowing red eyes who could change shape and size. Jody told Missy that she would be her friend forever, and that she would live in the house forever. One night, George was awakened by a commotion outside. He looked out the window to see a pair of glowing red eyes staring back at him from the darkness, the eyes of a gigantic pig-like creature peering into his daughter's bedroom. When he ran to check on her, the rocking chair in her room was swaying back and forth, empty. Jody was making her presence known. The paranormal activity escalated with each passing day. A crucifix on the wall rotated until it was upside down. A swarm of flies, out of season, infested the sewing room, even in the dead of winter. Objects moved on their own. Banging sounds echoed from the basement, and ghostly apparitions were seen. The family discovered a hidden room in the basement, a small, red-painted chamber that wasn't on the house's blueprints. The family dog refused to go near it, cowering in fear. George believed this red room was a gateway, a direct portal to something hellish. The atmosphere in the house grew heavier, more oppressive. It felt as though the very walls were alive and watching them, feeding on their fear. The Lutz family was physically and psychologically tormented. They lost weight, their personalities changed, and they lived in a constant state of terror. The house was not just haunted, it was actively trying to possess them, to repeat the cycle of violence that had stained its history. George found himself waking up with an urge to harm his family, fighting against a dark influence that seemed to be taking over his mind, just as it may have done to Ronald DeFeo Jr. after just 28 days. The family could take no more. On the final night, the house unleashed its full fury. The activity was so violent, so chaotic, that they described it as if all hell broke loose. Banging sounds as loud as a marching band filled the house. Furniture was thrown around by an invisible force, and unseen entities physically assaulted them, terrified for their lives and the safety of their children. The Lutz family fled the house in the middle of the night, leaving all of their possessions behind. They ran out with only the clothes on their backs and never returned. They sought help from paranormal investigators, including the famous demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Warrens conducted a seance in the house, which they later called one of the most terrifying cases of their careers. Their investigation captured a now famous photograph of a small boy with glowing eyes, peeking out from a doorway, a spirit many believe to be one of the murdered DeFeo children. The story of the Lutz family at 112 Ocean Avenue has become a cornerstone of modern paranormal lore. Is it a true story of a demonic haunting, or an elaborate hoax? Skeptics point to inconsistencies and a lack of physical evidence. Believers point to the sheer terror experienced by the family and the corroborating evidence from investigators like the Warrens. But whatever you believe, one thing is certain. For 28 terrifying days, the Lutz family lived through an experience that changed them forever. The house on Ocean Avenue, a place of family dreams, became a living nightmare. It stands as a chilling reminder that some places are steeped in a history so dark, it never truly leaves. The house remembers every soul that enters it, ... and it never lets go. Thank you so much for watching. What do you think happened in the Amityville house? Let me know your theories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the dark, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more unsettling stories. Stay safe out there.